up in the sky. Look, it's captivating. It's energizing. It's Eliances Heroes. Eliances is the destination for entrepreneurs, investors, CEOs, inventors, leaders, celebrities, and startups, where our heroes in business align. Now, here's your host flying in, David Kogan, founder of Eliances.
That's right. I'm flying right in, and I couldn't be more happier than ever because I have the honor to be able to interview some of the most amazing people that we always learn something from. These are doers. These are ones that are creating jobs, creating opportunities, entertaining others like no other. So make sure, again, you go to Eliances. That's Eliances.com, and you all know why, because it's the only place where entrepreneurs align. And thank you for the feedback. Keep it coming. When I just recently had on the former CEO of Atari and also the chairman of CNBC. So again, make sure that you go to Eliances.com. All right, I got to talk about our next guest today. First of all, what does 8 million downloads have to do with our next guest? The number one game, the number one word game in the App Store. In fact, welcome to the show, Stephen Cravotta. Such a pleasure to hear and see you today. Why don't you steal the thunder? What did you create that's got 8 million downloads?
Hi, David. Thank you so much for having me. First of all, it's an honor to be on the show. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I created an app 6 years ago called Wordle, and yeah, like you said, it's amassed 8 million downloads, and it's been an absolute whirlwind these past 8 million downloads in the past 2 months, and it's been an absolute whirlwind. I never expected this to happen.
All right, so when you create a Wordle, I mean, did you ever think like that it would get past 100 downloads, 10 downloads?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I created Wordle when I was 17, and I already had a bit of experience building mobile apps. And, the game I had before Wordle called Grid had close to 500,000 downloads. So, I had a little bit of experience here, and I knew going into it that I would promote this. I just had no idea it would get to this scale.
So what are the secrets to be able to build something and be so successful as you've been to get past, quite honestly, what's the average? Most people don't get past maybe 300 or 500 downloads.
Right. It's a lot of trial and error. And I think, personally, I'm a marketing focused. I first focus on marketing before I even start building the product. So that's huge for me. I love to understand like how I'm going to promote a product before I even start building it. That's kind of like the first thing I think about.
All right. So you built this when you were in high school?
Correct.
And now are you done with college?
I'm done with college.
All right, that's got to be a good feeling. So then what's next for you? What are you going to be doing next?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a day job. I work at an advertising agency here in Santa Monica, California. And, my side hustles are I still do apps. My latest project is called Puff Count. It's an app that helps people quit vaping, helps people quit nicotine. I started that in college. When vaping really took over. It's really an epidemic, even to this day, I think. So I saw that kind of taking place, and all my friends and myself included were getting addicted, and I saw an opportunity to build a product and use my skill set that would help people. So that's what Puff Count is.
That's amazing. And you do good things. Talk to me about $50,000 and what you did with that.
Yeah, absolutely. So Wordle kind of, took the world by storm, and I didn't really expect that to happen. So another developer built another game called Wordle, but his game was only on browser, not on the App Store, and my Wordle is on the App Store, right? So the game started blowing up, and we were kind of feeding each other downloads and stuff like that. So I connected with the other Wordle developer called Josh. His name is Josh. I reached out to him on Twitter, and I was like, "Hey, Josh, like, these games are blowing up, and I see that you're not really capitalizing on this. Like, you're not making any revenue here. So let's connect and find a way to donate the proceeds that I've been receiving from my Wordle, and we can donate this to a literacy nonprofit." So we connected. We went back and forth, and his partner actually had a connection with a charity called Boost West Oakland. And they're located in Oakland. So, I took the opportunity to go out there and meet the great people at Boost and donate $50,000, which is great because they're an after school tutoring program focused on, teaching kids reading and writing skills. So it falls perfectly in line with word games.
That's incredible. You've got a lot going on here. That's great. Again, we've got with us Steve Cravotta, creator of Wordle app. You can reach him by going to his social media at Stephen Cravotta. We're talking now 8 million downloads, the #1 word game in the App Store. Stephen, share with us some of the secrets. Like, how do you win on it? Like, what's some of the inside secrets of the app?
A lot of practice, and that's the best part about the game. You don't really win. Like, you just take yourself as far as you can, and it's really about learning. And it's a great way to warm your brain up in the morning. It's a great game for you to give your kids, even to teach them more about putting words together and enhance their reading and writing skills. So I would just say have fun with it. There's a leaderboard. See how far you can get up the leaderboard, but have fun with it and challenge yourself.
That's awesome. So no secret hacks.
No.
None that you're going to share right now. Maybe we'll share it off screen.
We'll you in down the line, but it'll be just between me and you.
Absolutely. They'll be wondering, who's this David guy around getting to the top? So tell me about, though, you mentioned about how, the next app and future apps and stuff, how you're actually doing marketing in that before you even develop it.
Yeah, well, I think it's important to think, marketing first when you're building a product and when
Expand on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just that's just how I think, naturally. I was growing up, my dad was a salesman. So, I always had sales on my mind. I was always thinking about selling stuff. And that kind of evolved into me going on social media and, building social media accounts and marketing and selling stuff that way. So I think just the way I was brought up and the way that my mind works is marketing first. And if I see something like vaping, for example, and I see that that's a massive problem and there are millions of people addicted to it, I know that's already a marketable product and it's something that's going to help people. And if the message of quitting vaping is going to reach millions of people. So I knew that would be, a successful product, and it has been. Puff Count's been downloaded close to 250,000 times, and we're helping people quit vaping every day. So that's just kind of the way I think about stuff is it's important to know your audience before you start building a product and have a deep understanding of the way your audience thinks before you build that product.
But with all the apps that are in the store, I mean, every time you go there and there's ones that have the paid part on top, I mean, there's so many to even find the app that you want to download. How did you start? Where was the traction then on Puff Count? Yes, people know that it's an issue, but how would they even know that it even exists in an app store?
Great question. And that was something I struggled with. I knew this was a marketable product, but it was really the question was where do I market this? Margins are very slim on mobile apps. So I started Puff Count 2 years ago, and that was kind of right at the beginning of the massive TikTok wave. And coming from other social media like Twitter and Instagram, I understood that TikTok was the next thing. So I really went full force on TikTok, made videos just myself for the past 2 years, and kind of blew up the Puff Count product and profile on TikTok. It now has 90,000 followers, I think 5 million likes across all of its videos, and probably closing in on 50 million media views on its TikTok account. So to any entrepreneur or any business owner out there, you 100% need to be on TikTok starting today. Do not wait. This opportunity will go away soon. It's the early days of Facebook right now on TikTok. It's insane.
Right. Amazing. And you said now that you're working and doing digital work for another company and stuff. Is this company then rolling out different things too? Or we'll tell maybe a little bit more about your role.
Yeah, absolutely. So I joined, it's a company called Advertise Purple. I worked there as a marketing coordinator. I joined right out of college, and that's my professional day job, aside from the side hustles. But I really enjoy it. It's it's a chance to enhance my career professionally and learn something. And it's a big company that I work at.
Now, what about people that have an idea for an app? They have a concept of it. They're going to start working, as you mentioned, of kind of doing the promo first, kind of instead of they build it, they will come. It's now show them where to come and build it, right?
Right.
How does someone even go, if they don't have the technical skills of what you have, where do they even start?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it really helps if you have a personal understanding of the product. Like for vaping, I was addicted to vaping, which is one of the main reasons that I built the product. So, I understood what the product would look like before that. And I understood that there was a community there, and I asked my friends and I was like, hey, what do you think about this idea? And they kind of gave me great feedback on that. But I think it's important to find that community. And you can do that in multiple different ways, right? You can go on Reddit, subreddits, and see what the community is talking about. You can build a social media and build a community that way. And you can build an audience there and kind of get feedback on your initial ideas, which is helpful. But also, too, the way I started PuffCount was I built a wireframe. So, get a visual of the idea, a visual of the product. And then once you show people the visual, even if it's not real, they'll get a much better understanding of what your product is, and they'll be much more inclined to give you feedback. And it becomes more real if you have a wireframe first. And it's cost effective to do that.
Awesome. Well, Stephen, this is a hero show, and certainly what you've built is huge. Again, 8 million downloads. That is a huge accomplishment. Who's your hero?
Gotta say it's cliche, but definitely my dad. I grew up, like I said, he was a salesman. So, I grew up in this kind of environment where, he was hustling and always told me to do my own thing. And, the thing he always told me was be your own boss, eventually work for yourself and whatever it takes to get there, do it. So that was kind of where I got the side hustle and the motivation to kind of do my own thing. And I'm glad that he told me that for sure.
No, that's huge. Huge. Words of advice and stuff. And now, what advice would you give to high school students to be able to, get something launched, get on the platform? Heck, even getting an app on the store, right, is going through a ton of hoops.
Yeah. If you're passionate about something, take a bet on yourself, whether that's time or a little bit of savings you do have, just take that bet on yourself. I took a bet on myself when I was 16 years old and I built Wordle. It took a lot of my time away. It took some of my weekends away and took a little bit of investment. My savings at the time when I was in high school, I put those all into this game, and you never know what can happen. So, take a bet on yourself. I think I have a painting down here.
Yeah, let's see it. Let's see the painting. Look at that. Did you do that?
No, one of my good friends made that for me. It says bet on yourself, though. That's my motto.
That's awesome. Well, I'm sure your father must be very proud of you.
Thank you.
Well, Stephen, you created an addictive word game and also helping others break their habits, all while giving back. You know what, Stephen? That's a hero. Stephen Cravotta, creator of Wordle app, 8 million downloads, #1 word game. Make sure you go to the App Store. Make sure you follow him now at Stephen Cravotta. We'll also have the link below. You'll see the name below. Make sure, again, you reach out to him, Stephen Cravotta. Thank you so much for being on the Eliances Hero Show.
David, it was a pleasure. Honor to be here. Thank you again so much.
That's right. You got the. All right.